Welcome friends. In this video tutorial we are going to learn JQuery events. JQuery events methods are used to specify the behavior of the HTML element when user interacts with the web page content. So in this series, first let us learn the blur event. Blur event is used to attach an event to an element, and this event will be raised when the element will lose the focus. So let us see this with the example. Here I have a text box, and as soon as I will move out the focus from this text box, I want an event to raise, and in that event I want to call certain functions. So what I have done is that I have a text box here. I have found that text box first, and then I have attached a blur event, and when this text box will lose the focus, this particular alert me please function will fire, and that will alert blur handler called. So let us see this with example. Blur method, I have kept my mouse focus here. As soon as I will move the mouse focus, I am getting this blur handler called. The next method is the next event is change event. How to attach change event to an element? Okay, so to attach change event to an element, change method can be used. That will fire when the event value is changed. So here what I have is that I have a drop down, and in that drop down there are 3 items. Okay, and I have specified the change event of this drop down. So whenever this value will be changed, selected value will be changed for this drop down, this event will fire and it will give an alert change handler called. Let us see this with example. Change method, I am selecting another item. You can see the change handler called is giving alert, and again I have selected another item, and again I am getting the alert. Sorry, click event. So click event is very frequently used event, and this is generally in almost all the web pages you will see that in one or the another way you are using the click event. So to attach a click event to an element, what you can do is you can use the click method, and this will fire when a particular button or a particular element is being clicked. So let us see the click. Here I have a button, and what I want to do is that as soon as a user will click this particular button, then I want to raise an event, and under that event I have written some code that will fire. So I have written alert, and this will give me alert click event called. So let us see this click, and as soon as I will click this, I will get an alert. So this was the click event. The next event is double click. Okay, so the way click works, in the same way double click also works. The only difference is that click event will be raised when the user will click for the first only one time, means single click, and double click will raise when the user will click double time, is 2 times at once. So let us see the double click. I have a text box here, sorry, I have a button here, and on double click of this button I want to raise an event, and in that event I have specified some code that will execute. So first I have found the button, and then .dbl click, and I have specified my function that will fire. So let's see, dbl click, and I am double clicking, it is firing. Notice that when I will click for the only one time, then double click will not fire, but I will click 2 times, and then double click event will fire. The next event is the bind and unbind. This is very interesting. So let us see this with example. Bind and unbind. What happens is that here what I want to do is that I have a I have a button called btn bind action. This is the second button, and I have third button btn unbind action. So this one. Now what I have done is that I have this is the first button. Sorry. So let us see the bind and unbind here. In this page I have covered both bind and unbind, and I will show what is unbind later on. So here I have 3 buttons. The first button is btn action, the second button is btn bind action, and the third button is btn unbind action. Now when the second button will be clicked, btn bind action will be clicked, what I have done is that I have binded a click event, okay, to the first button. So I have found out the first button and I have binded the click event, and on click of this particular button, what I want to do is that I want to attach btn action function. So when I will click the second button, what will happen is that click event will be attached with the first button, and when the first button will be now clicked, then btn action function will fire, and this first button value will be changed to click now. Now on click of the third button, that is unbind action, what I want to do is that I want to unbind the click event. So using second button I bind, and using third button what I want to do is that I want to unbind the click event, and I want to unbind the function that was attached with the second button click. So I have unbind the click event and I have removed the btn action function, and I am going to change the first button value to simple button. Okay, let us see this with the example, demo example that will really help us to understand it. So notice that when I'm clicking the first button, nothing is happening. When I will click the second button, then the click event will be attached with the first button. Now it has been attached, click event. So when I will click, then you will see that click event is firing. Now when I will click unbind, then the click event has been unbound, and when I will click it, the first button, then nothing will happen. So this was the example of bind and unbind. Okay, now let us see the another event, that is pay live and die. I will cover both of them into the single page. So let us understand that live and die. Live and die, yes. Here, so what I have is that I have a paragraph called whose ID is p live. Now what I wanted to do is that I want to attach a click event to this particular paragraph, and when this particular paragraph will be clicked, I want to add new paragraph just before this paragraph, and after this paragraph I want to add p another paragraph with a green color, and its ID I am specifying the same thing. So the original paragraph ID is also p live, and the paragraph that I am adding dynamically, this paragraph ID is also p live. Now what will happen is that when I will click this paragraph, the new paragraph added will appear just before this paragraph, and after this paragraph, this particular paragraph will appear. And because the dynamically added paragraph ID is also p live, so when I will click the dynamically added paragraph also, then this particular event will fire, and it will add before this paragraph this particular text, and after this paragraph, this again one new paragraph will be added. Let us see this with example so that it will be easier to understand. So live and die, this is my paragraph. When I am clicking this, new paragraph address has been added at the before, and p live new paragraph address has been added after this. But notice that the newly added paragraph that was in the green color ID is also p live, so this paragraph is also now active. So when I will click this paragraph also, the same thing will happen. Again I will click this paragraph also, newly added paragraph, the same thing will the event will raise, and it will add new paragraph at the before and this green color after. So the same behavior will happen when I will click the original paragraph or the newly added paragraph, because both paragraph IDs are p live. See here, p live and p live. So this was the live and die live method. Now let us see the die, and I'm going to show this die with an example of 2 button and 1 span. So what I have is I have a button called btn live die, and I have another button called btn die live, and I have a span tag called span live die. Now what I'm going to do is that on the btn live die click, means the first button click, I want to attach a click event with the span live die, with this span, and when this span will be clicked, then I want to fire a function called a span live die function, and this will give me the alert. And I want to change the span text to click me to test. Now when the second button, that is die, will be clicked, then I want to detach the click event that was firing the span live die click, and I want to change the span text to click me and nothing will happen. Okay, so let's see this with example. Let me refresh this page. Now this is my span. I'm clicking it but nothing is happening. But as soon as I will click live, then what I have done is that I have attached the click event to this span, and when I will click this, then I'm attached with live alert will come. That is coming because of this, because I have attached click event with this span live function. And when I will click on die, this particular function is detached now because of die, and when I will click this, but then nothing will happen. Now you may ask a question that bind was also doing almost similar to live. Then what is the difference between the two? See, the difference is bind works only with the already rendered tag on the page, but live works with already rendered element as well as any element that has been added dynamically. And in the same is the case of unbind and die also. So the scope of live is the entire page, whether the element of the page is being already rendered or any new element has been added. But the scope of the bind is also entire page, but only those elements that has already been rendered on the page. So this was the live and die. Now let us see another event, that is error event. Now to attach an error event to an element, error method can be used. Let us see this with example. So error. Now here what I have is that I have a img tag, and in this img tag I have specified a .NET-Funda.com logo URL, and this img id is img error. Now I have attached an error event. So in case this particular URL or logo is not being rendered on the page, means any error is occurring, then this event will fire and it will give me an alert. Otherwise it will not give me the alert. So let us go back and see the error event. See, the logo is loading properly, so I'm not getting any alert. But if I will change its path to something else, then what will happen is there is no image on the server of .NET-Funda.com having .NET-Funda logo 1.1. So what will happen is this image tag will not be loaded properly, and this error handler will raise and I will get the alert. Let me refresh this page. You can notice that it is taking little time and this image has not been loaded, and I'm getting the alert. So this was the error event. The next event we are going to see is the event page X and event page Y. This is very interesting. To get the mouse position, what we can do is we can use the event page X and event page Y. So let us see this with example. Event page X, event X and event Y. Yes. So here what I have is that I have a paragraph, and in that paragraph what I have done is that I have specified its height as 200 pixel and width as 300 pixel and its background color as yellow, and this paragraph ID is P event X event Y. Now on this paragraph I have bounded mouse move event, and I want to fire a function that will give me the X position and the Y position, is X coordinate and Y coordinate position of the mouse. Okay, because I have specified mouse move. So let us see this with example. Event X and Y. Now see, I am moving the mouse outside this yellow area, so nothing is happening, but as soon as I will move inside and I will start moving the mouse, I will get the X coordinate and Y coordinate of the my mouse pointer. So see, I'm going to the leftmost corner of this particular paragraph, and it is going almost to 0. When I will get the rightmost, then it will give me the almost 300. You can see this. So this was the event X and event Y that is used to get the mouse position. Now let us see the next event, that is event.preventDefault. This is very interesting. Let us see this with example. Prevent default. Yes. Now here I have a anchor tag. So this is my anchor tag, and when I will click this anchor tag, normally it should go to attributes.aspx page, but I want to prevent its default behavior. Okay, so that it will not go to the attributes.aspx page. Then what I will do is that I will find this anchor tag, because this anchor tag is a prevent default, so I have used hash to find it out. So hash a prevent default and dot click. So as soon as this particular anchor tag will be clicked, then I will say e dot prevent default is the argument. So e dot prevent default. Okay, so this will dictate that prevent the default behavior of this anchor tag, and then just for the notification purpose I have written sorry default behavior is prevented into this div. Okay, so let's see this with example. Prevent default, I'm going to click this, it will not go anywhere, and I will get a text. See, I'm clicking it and nothing is happening, and I'm getting the text sorry default behavior is prevented. So this was the prevent default. Now let's see the another event called event.target. This is also very interesting. Let's see this with example. Event.target. Now here what I have done is that I have a div. This is the scope of the div, and then I have a paragraph. This is the scope of the paragraph, and then I have a span. Now what I wanted to do is that I want to click on the area of this div, and means on this div, and I want to find out that I have clicked on the div element or the paragraph element or on the span element. So what I have done is that I have specified the parent element, so that is div event target, and on click of that I want to get the target node name on which I have clicked. So I have passed the argument here ee and ee.target.name. That will give me the node on which I have clicked. Let's see this with example. So this is the div, under that this is the p, and under that this is the span. So you can see that I am getting the node name, either div or p or span. e.target.node name is used to get the node on which any activity is being performed. The next event is focus. This is also very frequently used. So let's see this with example. Focus is this. Yes. Oops. So focus. I have two text boxes here, txt focus and txt focus 1, and I have attached the focus event, and when any of these two text box will get the focus, then I will get alert got focus. Remember that I have used a multi selector here, where I have selected txt focus 1 and then comma txt focus 2, so that both the text box will be selected and applied with the focus event. Let's see this. Focus. As soon as I will click on any of the text box that will get the focus, I will get the alert. See here, I'm getting the alert. So that was the focus event. The next event is focus out. This is also very simple. So focus out. I have two text boxes here, and I have selected both text boxes using the multi-selector, and I have attached focus out. As soon as focus will be out of these text boxes, I will get the alert got focus out. So let me go back and focus out. I'm clicking it, so I'm making focus there, nothing is happening. As soon as I will click outside this text box, then focus will be out and I will get got focus out alert. So that was the focus out. The next event is hover. This is also very interesting. So let us see. Hover. Yes. Here I have a paragraph, and what I want to do is that as soon as someone will mouse over this paragraph, I want to hide this paragraph. So first I have found out this paragraph, and then I have attached hover event, and under that I have called a function that will actually hide this. Okay, the dot hide is used to hide the element, so that will actually hide it. Let's see this. Hover. I am moving the mouse outside the paragraph of yellow color. As soon as I will go inside the yellow color paragraph, this paragraph is hiding. So that was the hover event. The next event is the key down event. Let's see this with example. Key down. Yes. Now here I have a text box called txt key press. What I want to do is that I want to attach a key down event with this text box, so that as soon as I will click the I will press any key on this text box, I want to append div3 I want to append key down event fire into the div3. So as soon as I will press any key in this text box, these much of text will be appended with the div3. So in div3 there is nothing, but now where I will press any button, any key on this particular text box, then this will be appended. Let's see this with example. Okay, there is nothing here. Now I have focused here this text box, and I am trying to click to press D key. As soon as I pressed, I am getting this particular text appended with it div. The next event is the key press event. Let's see this with example. Key press. Yes. Here I have a text box, txt key press. Now what I want to do is that as soon as someone will try to press any key on this text box, then I want to raise an event, and that in that event I want to perform certain actions. So in this event, what I have done is I have found out the div3 and I have written key press event fired. So let's see this. Now this is my text box. I am trying to press S, and you can see that key press event fired. Now you can ask that what is the difference between the key down and key press. See, both ultimate, if I have to say broadly are almost the same, but in terms of functionality, what happens is the key down event fire first, and then after key press event fires. Okay, so this thing you can remember, that if you have specified both key press and key down, the next event here is key up event. So let's see the key up event. Here I have a text box called txt key press, and I have attached key up event. As soon as someone will press any key in this text box and release the key, then key up event will fire. That will append key up event fired into the div3. So let's see, key up, I have pressed and I am releasing the key, and I am getting key up fired. The next event is the load event. This is very interesting. So let's see, load. Yes, here I have an image tag. Now when this itfunda.com logo will be loaded on this image tag, then I want certain function to fire, and in that function I have specified alert. So first what I have done is that I have found out the image tag, and I have attached load event, and under that I have specified the function that will fire. So let's go back and see the load method. itfunder.com logo has been loaded. I'm getting alert itfunder.com logo loaded. So that was the load event. The next event is mouse down event. Here what I want to do is that I have a div element, and as soon as I will mouse down on this div element, I want to raise an event. Let us see this with example. So mouse down. Now here this is my div and I will try to click it. So as soon as I will try to click it, naturally mouse down event will fire, and that will write mouse down into this div. Okay, so let us see this with example. Mouse down, and I'm moving the mouse here but nothing is happening, but as soon as I will try to click it, you can see that mouse down event has fired, and that has written mouse down into this div. Sorry, you can notice that it is the div, however I have specified the name span mouse down up. Just assume that this is just the ID. Don't worry about what is this span. This is just the ID. ID can be anything ABC, and I could have just copied this and pasted here. Okay, so that's fine. The next event is the mouse enter event. This is also very interesting. So mouse enter, yes. Now what I want to do is that I have a div here, and as soon as I will try to enter into this area of div, I want to raise an event, and in that event I want to perform certain action. So in this, what I have done is that as soon as mouse will enter into this area of div, I will write mouse entered in this area. So let's see this. Mouse enter, and I'm moving here outside the div, nothing is happening. As soon as I will go to the green area, you can see that the text has been changed to mouse entered in this area. So that was the mouse enter. The next event is mouse leave. Let's go and see mouse leave. Okay, I have again the same div, and what I have done is that I have attached mouse leave event with this div, and as soon as I will get out of this particular div area, then this particular code will execute, and that will write mouse left this area into this div. So let's see this. Mouse leave. I'm going inside this div area, but nothing is happening. As soon as I will go outside, you will notice that this text will change. Did you see this text will change? So that was the mouse leave. The next event is mouse move. Wow, this is really interesting. Let us see this mouse move. So here I have this div, and I have attached mouse move event with this div, and when I will mouse move, then what will happen is that its text will change to you have started moving. So let's see, go back, mouse move, and do you notice as soon as I came into this area and moving the mouse, it has been written you have started moving. So that was mouse move. The next event is mouse up. Let's see this mouse up. I have the same div here that we saw earlier, and I have attached mouse up event. As soon as I will click on this div and I will try to release the mouse, this event will fire and it will write mouse released in this div. So let's see. I try to click it, nothing is happening. Whenever I will release, then it will be mouse released, will be written to this div. Okay. Next event is resize. This is interesting. Let's see. So resize. Okay. What I have done is that I have specified this resize into the window object. So window.resize. So when the window will be resized, then I will write this particular the size of the width of the window into the div resize here. So let's see this. resize. Notice the text here. I will try to resize it, and you will see. Are you seeing this? Notice this area. You will notice that its width is changing, so the text is changing there. So that was the resize method. Sorry, resize event. The next event we are going to see is the scroll event. This is also very interesting. So let us see the scroll. Yes. This also I have specified with the window object. div. I want to write you are scrolling into the div scroll div, and I want to fade out slowly. So this will be written and then it will fade out also. Let's see this with example. Scroll. Now here is my window, and you will see. Notice here. I'm trying to scroll. It is writing and then it is fading out. So that was the scroll event. The next event is select event. This is also very good. So let us see the select event. Here I have a div whose ID is div select, and I have a text area whose ID is text area select. Now what I have done is that I have attached a select event in the text area select, means in this text area, and as soon as someone will try to select any text from this text box, I am raising the event you are trying to select. Sorry, I am raising the function that will give me the alert you are trying to select. Now on click of this div select, what I have done is that I have fired the select method. Okay, so this select method, what it will do is that it will try to select the content inside this text area. So naturally, when the content inside this text area will try to select, then this again event will fire and it will give me the alert again. So let's see this with examples. That will be really easy to understand. See, first let us try to select it. See, as soon as I try to select this particular content into the text area, I got you are trying to select. When I will try to click this paragraph, then I'm trying to select the text area content. So the select event will raise. See, we're trying to select. See, this was trying to select the text content of this text area, and as soon as this text area content was being selected, this function raised and it has given me the alert. Okay, the next method is submit method. Let's see this submit method. Submit. Now here what I have is that I have a text box and I have a div, and then I have a button whose value is submit and whose type is submit. So by default this behavior is that when I will click this button, then the form will be submitted. Now what I have done is that I have first accessed the form element of this page, and I have attached a submit event with that, and as soon as the form will be submitted, I will get what I'm doing is I am writing this particular text. You have tried to submit the form into the div submit, and after the delay of 500 millisecond, this text will fade out, and then I have written return false. Return false will make sure that even if the submit button will be clicked, the form will not be submitted. So let's see this. Submit. I'm writing something and clicking submit. You can see that this particular text, you have tried to submit the form and it is coming and it is fading out. So that was the submit event. Let us learn the toggle. To attach toggle events that fires in alternate clicks, toggle method can be used. Okay, in the above code snippet, what I am doing is, let us see with example. So I have a toggle.spx page where I have a div with whose ID is div toggle, and what I want to do is that when this div will be clicked for the first time, I want to raise this event, this function. When this div will be clicked for the second time, I want to raise this function, and when this div will be clicked for the first time, I want to raise this function. So in the same way I can specify another function as well. So toggle means first this and then next and then next and then next and then next, something like this. So let us see this. Toggle, I am clicking this div first time, it is red, green and white, red, green, white, red, green, white. So all these functions will toggle between them, red, green, white, red, green, white. So all these functions that I have specified here separated by comma will toggle after every click. That was the toggle method. Now the next method, that was toggle event. The next event that we are going to see is the trigger event. Okay, let's see this trigger event. Here what I have is that I have a div whose ID is div trigger, and what I want to do is that as soon as I will click this particular div, I want to submit the form. So what I have done is that I have attached click event of this div, and I am finding the form and triggering the submit event. Okay, let's see this. And when the submit event will fire, then what I have done is that I have written another function that will write you have tried to submit the form with a delay 500 seconds, and then it will fade out. So let's see this with example. Trigger, this is my div. As soon as I click this div, the submit event is triggering, and that is causing you have tried to submit the form, and then it is fading out. This is my div that is triggering the submit event, and because this submit event is being attached with the form, and in that I have written into the div submit that you have tried to submit. So that's what is happening here. You will notice that. Yes. The next method that we are going to see is the unload. Okay, let's see this with example. This is my page. Now what I want to do is that whenever this window will be unloaded, it means that whenever this window will be closed, then I want to fire certain code. I want to execute certain JavaScript code. So I have written hope this was a good time, bye, see you again. So let's see this how it is working. Unload, and let me open another tab. So whenever I will try to close this particular tab, then see what is happening. Hope this was good time, bye, see you again, and this tab will be closed. So that was the example of unload method.